Hello, hello, it's Wezel here, and thanks for joining me as I continue on my adventures in SnowRunner on hard mode. Today is day 17 as we push on through Michigan, gradually working our way through the Michigan region and heading into the next part, which is pushing to Island Lake. Today we are going to pick up where we left off yesterday in the Kodiak, bringing the fuel around to the quarry, and then we'll try and do a few of the tasks that are in the southeastern part of the map in Smithville Dam. So hopefully we should be able to get through most of those today and have a good full 24-hour session. Just in case you're picking up on this, basically what I try and do is an hour a day every day, where an hour of my time is 24 hours in the game. So that's a day. So having babbled it on enough, let's get stuck into it and see how we go today. So I'm going to fire up the Kodiak and continue on. We've refueled up. We've got a full fuel tanker as well as a full fuel trailer. We're going to wiggle our way to Smithville Dam. I don't know what's going on with the Kodiak, but it certainly looks very wiggly. Yeah, so there's a little bit of logistic work in SnowRunner where you literally are just moving vehicles around in order to get them in the right place for your latter exploits. And so although that gets a bit frustrating in terms of you don't seem to be achieving very much, not getting any extra money, it's important to have the right support in the right places, otherwise you're going to end up either running out of fuel somewhere or having to go out of your way to top up your tanks as you go. So generally, I'm sure there's some massive mathematical models on how you could do this in the most efficient way possible. It's nice to try and think about it, but I think it's beyond the scope of my tiny brain to balance off all the variables and work out exactly where everything has to go before you get there. But we're doing alright at the moment. This is day 17. At the moment we haven't actually rolled anything over yet. We've beached the Fleetstar a couple of times, which meant we had to get some help to pull us out of our spot of bother, but no harm done so far. Touch wood. And we're gradually working our way through the areas. We've pretty much finished everything in Black River now. I think there's one task left outstanding, the lost trailer, which we're hanging on to because we want to keep that fuel. Here in Smithville Dam, we're working through the tasks. There's still a few to go, and we've started getting into the contracts that are relevant for this region, this map. We'll keep pushing on here in Smithville Dam for a little bit today, with a view to then heading into Island Lake, and I'm hoping to pretty much focus on Island Lake starting tomorrow. driver's seat while it's nice. Yes, still very much a truck of the, I don't know, 70s I guess. Not sure when this one came out. Feels like the 70s. Certainly it's got a radio, which I don't think many would have nowadays. Pretty sure it doesn't have seat belts too. Well, again, sounds like the 70s. Cut the corner here for fun. Not that we have to. Oh, it does have seatbelts. I fibbed. Ahead of its time. Across the dam and see the water shine off, or the sunshine off the water. On that side can't see so much. We'll head up to the Quarry intersection of the Quarry, and park up there. I think that'll be a useful spot to refuel as we come up and down the main road, or back through the Quarry. Here's our other vehicles. We'll say hello to them. And that's probably out of the way enough, I think. That'll do. We'll just hopscotch back to the White Western Star, and while we're here we can do the Unlucky Fisherman task. That basically involves us finding a Chev CK1500 down here by the water, and we just need to bring it back up to the fisherman's house. So we can do that, we're nice people. Detach our trailer though, because we don't want to take that with us. I was probably a little blasé there detaching that, because it was on a bit more of an angle than I thought it was. And sometimes you have to be a little bit careful when you detach your trailer that it doesn't take a jump and tip over. I'm also super careful coming down there. I have tipped a number of trucks doing that. If you rush. Now I can just run around the quarry here and take a bit of a country road, go through the bush, bash our way through. Try not to hit anything. Come up through here. Again, take a slight wild trip down this way. We will find a path down to the water. Now this can be a little bit hairy because it is pretty steep. So we just want to be careful we don't get ourselves on a silly ankle. Particularly here where I'm turning. Should be fine. Here we can see a little Chev stuck in the river. Pretty sure, as long as we're careful, we should be right to climb almost straight up this hill here, particularly if we come at it from this other side. Yep. Again, into low plus, just pull our way up. Nice and steady. This brings us back out where we hopped in. Going to ease back, come through here because I don't want to damage the truck. Yes, I don't really care about the Chev. It can get a bit of damage. Now, this particular Chev has actually got full fuel tanks, so we're pretty happy about that. That means we can take the whole lot of that. Unlike trailers, when you return vehicles, as I think I probably have mentioned earlier, you don't have to provide them with any fuel. No, we won't. So before we drop it off, we'll stop there and refuel from the Chev to the White Western Star. Then we'll continue on our merry way. And not only do we drop it off, we get promoted. So there we are with a unlucky fisherman who is now a happy fisherman. We got that plus an extra 80 litres of fuel, so we're happy too. Alright. Okay, slight angle on the truck there, a bit more than I'd have liked. I'm going to top up fuel here from the trailer now. And then we're going to head on down towards Island Lake, as I mentioned before. Now we're going to just run straight through the marshlands down to the southeastern corner as such, which is where the gateway to Island Lake is. And I still haven't found a really good path through this marshland, so I tend to just resort back to the pretty much the main road. I've had a few goes at trying to find a better path, and I'm sure there is one. But I've never been able to find anyone that I really thought worked better. I'll stick to the less watery bits if we can to start with. So I've tried various paths sort of through or that way, well, that way, and you can get there, but I'm not sure that it's any easier, quicker or better than following this path. I'm pretty sure a fellow YouTuber, Alien Pirate, has a good path heading more through that side, but I struggled to find it without getting stuck in some of the reedy, muddy parts. So I've sort of resorted to giving up and just following the standard road again. But we'll try a couple of different ways as we go. Generally there's something to winch from if you do get stuck here. There's a lot of fallen trees or standing trees. So if you do make a mistake, there's usually something you can winch from, particularly something behind you, so you can go backwards, get back out of the problem you've got into. Or you can be boring like me and just follow the main path, and yes, it's slow, but you get there. Pretty good now, whereas this is easy. And we're almost at the intersection to the gateway. I'm just gonna pull this one up here. We might just stop the engine and leave the White Western Star there. I'll go back and get the Fleetstar and do pretty much the same thing. The Fleetstar doesn't have anything to bring with it at the moment, so he's footloose and fancy free. We'll just top his fuel up and then head on. Again, very careful doing this initial turn. Take it too wide, you can tip through one of these ruts here, which then throws all your weight the wrong way and you end up falling over. I'd left Lost Trailer up in the corner. We are not doing Lost Trailer. Stop asking about it. Right. Oh. We're going to come down to this other end and do a couple of tasks nearer to the gateway. Sort of head through these trees here. This is, at least it's not wet and muddy, but I don't know that it saves as much. We're still going to pop out much the same place. crossing over onto this more solid ground over this way. You can see how much the Fleetstar struggles compared to the White Western Star. Got a bit of a winch help. Got ourselves caught on one of those tree bits. Again, here's where we'll go backwards with a bit of a reverse winch fall. Try and square up the path a bit more. Then I'm going to try over there near those reeds, see if we can have a bit more fun that way. We were doing well, then it all came to a bit of an end, but lots of things to winch from. So. I don't know if that was any better than going the standard way. Not much. Go up there just yet. We'll keep heading down here and meet up with the White Western Star. In fact, we'll refuel there. No, not recover. No, refuel. Rightio. Then we'll stop the engine and have a quick peek at the map. So here we are here we are here. I'm going to continue on down this path, find this task, repair the truck, and then keep running around here, because over here there's a service trailer that we can use to repair the truck. And there's also a task called Lost Bags, where we can pick up a bunch of cement bags that have fallen off. A couple of them are up here somewhere, and a couple of them are sort of, one's about there and one's about here. So we should be able to do those, grab the service trailer, come back to repair the truck, and then bring that back here so we've got it for any later service needs that we want to repair ourselves. So that's the cunning plan. Let's see if we can do that in the next 12 hours. And of course this is pretty much going to be Fleetstar centric, because we need that tray bed to be able to put the bags of cement on that we'll be picking up. This path down this way is not too bad. It is a little bit wet and muddy, but if you sneak around this outside, either between the trees or even following that path, you can avoid that, the worst of it. And rejoin here in a slightly muddy spot, but not too bad. is where we'll repair the truck. But we won't start this one just yet. Or better make sure I've activated it. I hadn't. Now I have. So we're going to repair the truck. So we've got that in our list. And then we'll keep coming around here to the lost bags. Quite a muddy path, this one, or slow. Doesn't look muddy, but it just it seems to have no grip. The sooner we can get onto the verge, the better. Virtually there. So. So here we are, finding the lost bags task and the service trailer. So we'll activate that and in fact head straight on and start it. Another river crossing that would have been very difficult with highway tyres. Becomes a bit of a walk in the park with off-road tyres. Come up this side, there's two of the concrete, cement bags I should say, not concrete. Two of the cement bags over this side. Two more on the other side of the river. Just need to, as you could see before, just need to keep your wits about you with this road. There's a lot of undulations and variations that are designed to throw you off balance. That little Fleetstar's a bit of a champ. Keeps on pushing. Come up here to where we get ourselves flat and level. About there. That'll do. Slightly leaning away from the cargo is a good thing. Make sure we put our anchors out. We lift it high enough to get it in it. Our tray. Right. Now, another one of these ones, a bit like we had back in Black River. We have to just be careful how we turn around here, because you can see how much angle there is on the road. So I'm just going to run my tail back down this little ravine here. I keep myself pretty much flat and level. A slight bump here that I didn't expect. then we're good. And I should probably, given I'm doing it, should have activated lost bags so we can find them all. Otherwise we don't get our pretty little yellow stickers everywhere. Again, want to try and keep the truck pretty much straight, not leaning over too much. This one's not so bad though. Spin him around. Drop him in. Pack them back, and again reverse back the way we came. And straighten up. Now you would have noticed that I had a bit of fun and games here on the way over, so I need to just make sure I don't come at this corner too quickly, lose my balance. Okay, so now we're over that, cross the river again. Retrace my steps back the way I came. That'll be the first two. Cement. Bags. 1, 2. The other two are on the other side, this side of the river now. The only thing you need to be wary of here is this sand can be a bit difficult in places, so you just want to make sure you always keep a tree or something you can winch to in range. This road is also a very boggy road, and once again I'm going to want to make sure I get the truck level before I start loading it with the cargo. So even though, actually that's pretty good, that'll do. Put the anchors out. Oh, can't put the train arm that way, so we'll go this way. Yeah, see the angle we're already getting on the truck? We're fine. But you wouldn't want to have been at an angle before you even started and then try and lift something up. It can be dangerous. Okey-doke. I just have to be a tad careful coming backwards there. We're okay. Now if I'm lucky, I'll just sneak through between these trees. And that'll get me away from that muddy road onto the sand, which mostly, when you stay up high, is pretty hard. In fact, at the moment we're on grass, so even better. But I'm not going to go running right down to the water's edge until I go down to get my cargo. Now I'd like to reach this from as far away as possible. I don't really want to run on any further than I need to. Sometimes though, it doesn't give you the grab point. But this time, it did. That'll do. Back that in. We should be right to reverse our way back. Yep. And again, by keeping closer to the tree line, we won't run the risk of getting bogged in the sand. But I will run down alongside the water, as in the way I came. I won't go back along the road because it's too muddy. Very close to the tree. But that was quite a bit quicker coming that way than it was coming along the road, because we're pretty much back at Tim's house now. Go, dropping off those last 2 bags to complete the lost bags task. Now I'm going to try not to knock down Tim's fence with his trailer, so we'll drag it up and away if we can, at least to start with. That's pretty good. I'm not going to attach it to my trailer facing this way. I'm going to turn around first. Because hoping we can connect it up from there, but I think I'm too far away. Yeah. I also need to change this, because our next task is repair the truck. Okay, so I'm going to try and bring this out without knocking his fences down if I can help it. Done a pretty good job. Okay, so now we'll bring this back to the GMC that we found just up the path here, and we will repair it from this service trailer and then run this service trailer back to that intersection to Island Lake, where it'll be useful for fixing any and everyone else, including the Fleetstar. Again, I'm going to try and stick to the verges here rather than the road, because the road is just more muddy. The steering of the Fleetstar is such, makes that challenging. We don't have very far to go back along this path, but it's just slow. In fact, I'm going to jump back on the path. turn off here. If I can get any traction. It's not too bad. Now, an interesting little defect in the game about to come up here. It's not a big deal, but it's just something that if you didn't know about might be annoying at times. I'll stop the engine. I'm going to repair this GMC now, which I can do from the trailer. You'll notice that I also need repair. In fact, I've opened that up, you'll see it. So the Fleetstar has 4 repair points required. Now I'm not going to repair them right at the moment. But they will magically be repaired in a minute. So I will hop over and I'll repair the GMC, which needs 520 points. The trailer's got heaps, so let's do that. Which is fine because we've now repaired the truck, fixed it up, got the money. Thank you very much. And as soon as I accept this task, it will also automatically and magically repair my Fleetstar. There you go. So it's almost like it has those 2 windows open at once, and so it accepts the X, or in my case the accept button means do them both, which of course isn't necessarily what you want. In my case, I don't care. I was going to repair it anyway. But just a little feature if ever you are yes, if ever you're in that sort of state and don't want to repair, then that's going to be pretty tricky. Alright, so we'll head back now to the Island Lake Gateway, where we'll meet back up with the White Western Star. Take this little sneaky sideway again if I can find the spot. That'll do it there. So as I don't have to go through this water puddle, I can go round. Which makes that a little bit easier. Kind of the same here. Here we are, returning very slowly, returning back to the turn off to Island Lake. So I shall pull up here and refuel again, and then just run on a bit to leave the service trailer here. Just check if I need to repair. 2 repair points. So we'll fix those up. Then I might detach it and just run the Fleetstar just a fraction further away, so it's not blocking the road. Should do there. Okay, so that's pretty cool. So that's got us through those tasks, which is pretty good. So the next thing I want to do is just nip back to do to grab a load of metal beams back up the hill there, where there's a trailer there which has got some metal beams on it. There's also a task here called signal antenna, no, find the antenna, which I haven't activated yet. So my first thing I'm going to do is activate that task. And the easiest way to do that is to quickly hop back into the Chev and run down. Now, where am I heading? I'm heading down towards the river. So best to come down this path. Helps to put all-wheel drive on when you're trying to drive in muddy, watery areas. Goes better. Now a little bit of deja vu. Coming back down this path again, which is a bit of a suspension or engine basher. Not to mention that you can easily topple over, so we'll just take it easy. Back down here and cross over the river here. Now this can be a little bit of a nasty spot, okay, if you're not lucky. I think with our diff lock on we'll be fine. But that first part there is quite muddy, and then you find that you actually get out of range of any of the winchable items, so it gets a bit scary. But in the Chev, with our mud tyres on, we're now fine. Again, we have to just be aware this is the soft sand. We don't want to go too far away from the tree line here, just in case. Having said that, we need to be a little bit careful we don't put ourselves on too much of an angle. for a spot in here. I thought it was there, but maybe not. I'll have to check the map. Oh, we're a bit keen. I'm heading here, by the way. Yeah, we're probably at a good enough spot. Let's just keep going. Something you can do in the Scouts that you can't do in big trucks is this sort of close manoeuvring through the trees. And we pop out here. Just need to miss that nasty stump. You always seem to put stumps where you don't want them. We'll just pull it up there, stop our engine, and activate the Find the Antenna Tower task. So that task opens up or identifies the antenna tower down here. And we're currently in our White Western Star, or will be in a second, and we'll run back up there to do that task. And then I reckon that's pretty much going to be about as much as we'll get done today. Okay, so we'll head back this way. I'm going to find the antenna tower, and I'll also grab a trailer with metal beams on it. Because we're going to want those metal beams when we go into Island Lake. Be careful coming through these rocks. Again, just more potential for damage. Oh, bad choice. I tried to go up into high gear at the wrong time. Now I'm good. Our antenna tower. Yay for us, we found it. And I'll just go up to this parking lot where there's the trailer of metal beams that we will need in Island Lake. Careful of that stump. Also a curtain side trailer here. So aren't we lucky? We're just finding trailers all over the shop. Having a quick look at the time, it is now 7:56, 7:57. So that's a perfect stopping spot for us for the end of today's session of our 24 hours, our day a day. So thanks for joining me. I hope you enjoyed some of our fun and games. We got through a few tasks today in Smithville Dam, so that was pretty good. So focus for tomorrow is going to be on heading into Island Lake and starting to fix up some bridges and power lines and goodness knows what that we can find in Island Lake as we keep pushing on into day 18. Anyway, thanks for joining me. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope to have you along with us on our adventures in SnowRunner again tomorrow. Bye for now.